Hey everyone, and welcome back to Fall of Porcupine. Or it's maybe almost the winter of Porcupine here, because last time, after we did everything in the Hibernation Festival, we experienced the first snow. Luckily, just as planned, Mia won the stew contest, but it wasn't without a little bit of drama. She had forgotten one of her main ingredients and we had to go get it for her. Luckily we managed. We also managed to remember to get ourselves a hazelnut candle for Ma, that requested one since she couldn't go herself. The first ever Hibernation Festival brought the people of Porcupine together. They celebrated and feasted. But when it was all done, there was still a pile of candy left over. Together they decided to store the leftover candy in a cabinet. And on that day, my dear vending machine, you were born. Yes, I'm sure that's how the story goes. Not in the mood for the Hibernation Festival? Sure I am. But someone has to keep this place running. I'll be down in a minute though. Then we'll get the real party started. All that nonsense beforehand with the stews and everything. I can't stand it anyway. Boring. I heard you can win a bottle of caraway liquor at the wine stand though. I've got to get my hands on that. I've heard it's delicious. And there's only one bottle of it. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. What? Has someone cleaned the bottle out already? Well... let's say Roman Heydrich has the bottle. That greaseball. How dare he? The world just isn't a fair place. He won't even appreciate a drink of that quality when I get my hands on him. Now, off to your shift. Dr. Krakowski is waiting. You're on the night shift together tonight. Yep, I know. Okay, well, let's go and see if Dr. Krakowski is at the front desk here. Yes, she is. Hello. Good evening, Finley. Happy Hibernation Festival, Dr. Krakowski. Yes. Hope you had a good time. Yes, it's just the two of us today. Really. Holidays are all well and good, but someone has to keep the lights on here. That's true. So how are things looking? As they should. People actually always feel a little better on days like this. Some are homesick, others are just happy to have some space, some peace and quiet. Still, from a psychological point of view, the Hibernation Festival actually seems to help them. I will take care of our dear Irma today. Please handle your duties. You'll find me in the break room when you're done. Alright, see you soon. Okay, well, we did have a text apparently from someone. From Mia, okay. Good morning, hope you're feeling well again. Glad you're blah blah blah. Still can't believe I won. Yeah, I think that's from there. Still can't believe I won. I'm still shaking. That was amazing. Thanks, Finley. You are most certainly welcome. We still have to talk to Irma though. Hello, who are you? I believe she was in like 303, right? Let's just start with our duties then. Is it you? Hello, friendo. I would have really loved to go to the Hibernation Festival today. I'm sure you would. I'm sorry it didn't work out. It's okay. I've been having my own little Hibernation Festival right here. I just had a coffee with cream and hazelnut. It was the highlight of my day. You have an inflammation of the renal pelvis. Are you in pain? Yes, but I'm trying not to let it get to me. Alright, but don't make things too uncomfortable for yourself. We can always get you some painkillers if you want. For now, I'm going to give you some medication to help bring the swelling down. Okay, it's probably not over here. Huh. Not like super close anywhere. I guess that's how it is for some people. I think we're gonna go ahead and do this one. You know what? That was not too bad. Oink. That was not too bad at all. Good. Excellent. Thank you. Please tell us if the pain gets any worse, or if you have any problems urinating. You shouldn't really be drinking caffeine this late in the day, but you might find that coffee helps a little. Anyway, I wish you a wonderful hibernation festival and a sound night's sleep. Thank you. I'm definitely wide awake right now, I've got to admit. Yeah. That's empty. Cannot go in there. Can't go in there. Can't go in there. We can't even leave, actually. Okay. Well, we have something here in P31. Hello. Good evening, Miss Van Galen. It is important not to get rattled. After every inhalation comes an exhalation. Everything that is closed will one day be opened up again and vice versa. May I interrupt for a moment? Oh. Hello, Finley. I didn't hear you come in. We were just lost in conversation. I bumped into dear Sonia this evening in the cafeteria. That's one way of putting it. I'd forgotten I was meant to have an important meeting today. Suddenly it got hard to breathe and I passed out again. You got blood on your shirt there. Dr. Gotera brought me back up here. I have to admit to a certain amount of luck. Benjamin from surgery happened to be passing through at the time too. He was a huge help in getting Sonia up here safely. Thank you, Dr. Gotera. What were you two talking about? Do you have any recommendations for a course of treatment? Thank you, I'll take over from here. That's really none of our business. Let's see if Dr. Gotera here has recommendations for a treatment. I don't know if you're familiar with my approach to treatments, but I believe that the body can only heal with the help of the mind. Medications sometimes only treat the symptom, not the cause. Miss Van Galen, and I wish you all the best and a natural recovery for both body and mind. Now, I've already taken far too long a break. I wish you both a pleasant evening. Thanks, you too. How are you feeling, Miss Van Galen? Still feel a little out of sorts. Your blood pressure must have begun fluctuating. You had an extremely high resting pulse when you first arrived here. The drugs regulate your blood pressure. Dr. Gotera kept talking to me until I felt better. He was saying something about my inner core, breathing exercises, that kind of thing. I tried yoga once, not my cup of tea. Yes, Dr. Gotera has his own way of looking at things, but he wasn't exactly wrong. Let me check your readings. We have to make sure that the drugs are working so you remain stable. Alright. I think this is the one where I have to press up. No. Not this one. Okay, you know what? That's completely fine. Ooh. I'm afraid medication will only go part of the way to solving your problem. It would be wise to develop ways to reduce stress. Unfortunately, this happens to a lot of people nowadays. But how am I supposed to avoid stress? Well, there are a few options, but you'll need to work out what works best for you. They didn't teach us much about stress avoidance techniques at medical school, to be honest. The things that Dr. Gortera said, they kind of helped. I'm going to take a nap. Maybe I'll get lucky and catch Dr. Gortera again tomorrow. Rest well. Okay, that's completely fair. Is there anything else? Just the break room. Don't know what this is. This is just a minus. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll find Irma at some point. Maybe we can give it to Dr. Krakowski at least. Dr. Gerda Neisdorf? Finally. Bring me back a cup of black tea. Then tell Dr. Theobald that I want to speak to him. I'm actually your attending physician. You're a doctor? Saint Ursula save us. You're barely out of diapers. Do they sell medical degrees online now? Let's not lose sight of the matter at hand, Dr. Neisdorf. Neisdorf, I'm gonna butcher that name every time. You came to us today suffering from severe tremors. On top of that, you've been complaining of recurrent itching and muscle atrophy. Liver cirrhosis. What? Liver cirrhosis. Are you deaf? You already been diagnosed? I can't see anything here. I am a surgeon, child. I've had liver cirrhosis for longer than you've been alive. Accordingly, I am aware of the high mortality rate once surgical interventions becomes necessary. That's why I'm here. So let's cut to the chase and get down to business. That's fair, that's fair. Okay, well, no matter what, for the blue things we need one of these and one of these. Let's see, we need 2 of these and 1 of these. 5 pills, all perfect, that should be an A. Perfect. Your liver readings are in the critical range. You don't say. To make sure it is cirrhosis of the liver we're dealing with, we need to do a liver biopsy. No. No? I already know it's cirrhosis of the liver. What do you take me for? Although I'm sure your accounting department will be thrilled if you carry out a few unnecessary procedures they can charge me for. What if it's not liver cirrhosis? Do I have to teach you how to treat me right here? Listen. I like a drink, if you know what I mean. Excuse me? I'm talking about chronic alcohol abuse. And your nursing staff insists I don't drink here. So now I have 2 problems. Alcohol withdrawal and this blasted liver cirrhosis. According to the latest research, your symptoms could also be triggered by other diseases. New research? A load of waffle. That's what it is. Well, go ahead. I'm sure you know exactly what you're doing. I hope I do. We don't need to do anything, right? I mean, it was just... It wasn't... No. We're done here. Okay. The camera just wasn't really following me. Okay, well, can we enter the other rooms now? No, I don't think so. Guess we'll have to talk to Dr. Krakowski first. Maybe he can take the candle to Irma. Or maybe Irma is hanging out in the break room, who knows? Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay. Well, let's go talk to Dr. Krakowski then. Still nothing here. New. I'm done, Dr. Krakowski. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? No, everything's fine. You're right, the patients really are doing a little better today. I'm glad I'm on the night shift now. It's really quite pleasant. If you say so. Well, let's see. I mean, today we aced it, I believe, yes? Yeah. Nice. You were really quick today. I like that. Wow. Praise. I have one more request for you. Of course, what? Irma, I mean Mrs. de Kalma. I've been watching her tonight and she's not doing very well. She asked if the nice doctor would stop by again today. I think she means you. Why don't you go check on her? I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. Sure, I'd love to. I've got a gift I wanted to give her anyway. Well, don't keep her waiting. Okay. Well, let's go talk to Irma then. Maybe she has a story for us. I wouldn't be surprised. Gonna assume there'll be a prompt when I can enter a room that she's in. Yeah, there we go. Hey Irma, how are you doing? Finley, what are you doing here? I thought you were out celebrating today. I was. It was great. I met a lot of people and the stew contest was really exciting. They got the fountain working again for the occasion. And look what I found. Can you smell that? The scent is just incredible. You've really made my day. I'm feeling much less shivery already. This brings back so many images for me, so many memories from years gone by, from all the many hibernation festivals I've seen. Here comes the story. It was your first one today, wasn't it? Yes. But you should get some rest, Irma. All that talking gets to your lungs. No, it's alright. I need someone I can spin my yarns to. I thought she was about to croak. I'm very tired. But I would like to tell you one last story. Irma? What do you mean by that? It's okay. What? No, it's not okay at all. We'll get you back on your feet, I promise. I'll get Dr. Krakowski right away. We'll figure it out. You've already done more than I can imagine. But may I ask one more favor of you? Of course, what is it? I'd love another cup of tea. My throat's a little dry, you know. Of course, now, Finley, don't fuss. It's alright. I'll just dash to the break room. We have tea there. I'll be right back. We can't talk, right? We can, actually. A cup of tea would be just the thing right now. Okay. Well, that took a sad turn. I was sure we were gonna be able to help her. We'll talk to Dr. Krakowski as well, since we are there. Maybe she'd like to go check on her as well. Okay, no mind. We always have hot water here, thank goodness. What kind of tea should I make? Black tea, peppermint tea, fruit tea, a green tea, a winter tea. I don't know. I mean, she likes hazelnuts. Winter is here. Let's go winter tea. Okay, now I'd better get this straight to Irma. Finley, taking a break already? No, I'm just getting a cup of tea for a patient. Ah, yes, old Irma has a taste for the finer things. Would you come with me, please? Irma isn't doing well at all. I know. I already went to see her and checked her readings. She is going to die in the next few hours. But we have to do something. What I'm going to do is make myself a cup of tea too. How can you just walk in here like nothing's wrong? Why aren't you doing anything? I've already done everything I could. Sometimes even the best treatment in the world can't help Finley. But go to her. Make her last hours as comfortable as possible. That is our duty to her now. Make sure she has enough painkillers. Shouldn't we contact her son? I have already tried that too. Unfortunately, I have not yet been able to reach Giuliano. I'll keep trying and inform him of the situation. Go now. Irma's tea is getting cold. Okay. Well, I guess if you want to be a doctor, this happens. I'm back, and I've got your tea. Irma? Well, she's still blinking. Who? Oh, sorry, I must have dozed off for a minute there. You are a darling, thank you so much. Just set it down there. I remember my first hibernation festival like it was yesterday. It was already very cold for the time of year. The cars and park benches were buried in snow. But the hibernation festival still had to go on, of course. Gilbert? Gilbert loved hot air balloons more than anything else in the world. But he also had a great fear of flying. And he wasn't the youngest anymore either. Neither of us were. So we compromised by heading to the countryside to watch the balloon race. At least we used to, until it was banned. It was the hibernation festival. When Gilbert sat in a hot air balloon for the first time. There was already snow on the roads and the roofs of the houses. The lights, the smells, we were there every year. When it was cold outside and everyone started to come close together. I'd already bought a hazelnut candle and enjoyed some lovely conversations with plenty of laughter when Gilbert secretly slipped away. He'd spotted a hot air balloon in the square. Back then you could still book flights in the winter. They said you could see the whole town from up there. But that year, the balloon remained grounded. The weather was already bitterly cold and very windy. Then, all of a sudden, an icy gust of wind blew across the square. Hats and caps flew through the air. Mothers had to hold on to their children. And that gust of wind blew my Gilbert right into the basket of the balloon. When he picked himself up, he climbed back out again. He got the fright of his life. The balloon had broken loose and was already rising hundreds of feet above the town. And me? I'd seen the whole thing, and I leapt desperately at a dangling rope to try and hold the balloon down. But instead, I simply floated away with it. Gilbert helped me into the basket, and the wind carried us higher and higher into the wintry clouds. Porcupine was no more than a small speck of light in the fog. Eventually, it disappeared altogether. Gilbert could barely move due to his fear of heights. The cold bit into our skin. But I managed to cheer him up. His dream had finally come true. I reminded him, riding in a hot air balloon. Unfortunately, we soon realized that the burner was frozen. But then I remembered the hazelnut candle I'd bought. So Gilbert and I made ourselves comfortable in the basket of the balloon, and lit the candle to warm to keep warm. I don't know how long we sat there, but it was indescribably beautiful. Just us, the sky and the clouds, and the scent of the hazelnut candle. Suddenly there was a bang. The burner had started up again. The heat from the hazelnut candle had thawed it out. Gilbert quickly figured out how to steer the balloon. Even the altitude didn't bother him anymore, but how would we know which way to go? Then, before we could even begin to worry again, I heard it. Very softly. The hibernation hymn. The song everyone in Porcupine sings together for the hibernation festival. We strained our ears and Gilbert steered the balloon straight toward the song. Eventually, Porcupine emerged from the fog. The beautifully decorated marketplace, the snow-covered roofs, and the festival goers, what a sight. They had broken into song to help us find our way back. Gilbert landed right in the front of the fountain and all the crowd cheered. And that's the story, more or less, of how my Gilbert and I took flight together for the first and last time. He died the following year. I'll be reunited with him soon. Then we'll fly together again. My Gilbert and I. Are they still playing the hibernation hymn in the square? Maybe, I'm not quite sure. I think I can hear it, just faintly. Yes, they're probably still celebrating, and here's the two of us stuck working the night shift at the hospital, eh? You're doing a good job. With the work. But Irma? I made it. To the hibernation. Well, I guess that's a perfect place to put a cut in. We can see it's winter outside, but we'll have to see what we'll have to see the consequences of this next time. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.